Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, place of Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus. It's a good day. You know why? It should be our last Greed Day. Not Green Day, that's a still active pop/punk band from the Bay Area. You know, this is a public service announcement, this is only a test. A lead singer is Randy Newman, I guess. Let's be Eve. Hypothesis really is that I like Samson, but we can just do a Samson greedier run. Moreover, dude, Eve starts with a razor blade now. Very good item in greed. Moreover, hold up. We are not likely to see any blood banks, which makes Samson slightly more annoying in greed mode, I guess, than he would be in any other game mode. So here's what I'm thinking: grab this. And we're gonna really swing for the fences, like, immediately. Pretty much go straight down into Whore of Babylon territory. We're up to 8 damage, 10 rate of fire, but 8 damage. Insanely great damage early on. Plus, we got Dead Bird, which is probably worth about, you know, 0.5 damage total, if you want to be generous. But it is an item that exists. Plus, dare I suggest to you, we have Placenta, and the existence of Placenta means we will randomly generate HP, which means that we'll be able to preserve our Whore of Babylon state until we leave the room, but not preserve the unfortunate aspect of Whore of Babylon, which of course is the fact that at any given point we're like 2 hits away from death. Like you can see right now, for example. Now, if we get a lot of Placenta charges, or activations, or procs, whatever you want to call it, we could, in theory, use Razor Blade even more times. But it's not really on my radar for just yet. What we are going to do, though, and this is like, it's part of the danger of an Eve run, but also part of the excitement. We're fighting, excuse me? What? How? What did I get hit by? I ask you this. I'm happy we have Placenta, so it's not, like, catastrophic, but simultaneously, I don't understand what we got hit by. Anyway, what I was going to say is, we're going to fight all of the enemies, including the deal with the Devil Wave, in one go. That way, we're not losing our damage bonus in between floors, rooms, what have you, etceteras and the etceteras. It's a great name for, like, a fake band from the 1960s. It'd be like Nick Punctuation and the etceteras. I know you're like, you're skeptical, but back in the day, the bands were all called all sorts of stupid stuff before they hit it big, you know? You know what the Beatles were called before they hit it big? Paul and John's Insect Extravaganza. It's true. Look it up. Then they, you know, started to get famous. I don't know why I said it like that. They started to get famous, and then some radio DJ, you know, in Cleveland just called them the Beatles. Forgot the name. He came into work hungover. And Ringo was like, the Beatles are like that. And Paul was like, yeah, the Beatles. They all just, you know, various echoings of the same similar sentiment over and over. Hello, Pointy Rib. Hello, you stinky Pointy Rib. So I grabbed these. Like, Lump of Coal is just good. Excuse me? Excuse me? If I got hit there, I would have been beyond, like, salvation in terms of my own moroseness. But, my thinking here is that Lump of Coal is good, for one. It's very interesting. Old bandage as well. I bought the Red Heart so that we could get some extra action on the Razor Blade. Plus, we may need it to survive anyway. Why'd you buy a Red Heart, you idiot? You were supposed to buy a key. I said Razor Blade, and then my brain was like, yeah, buy Red Hearts. Anyway, it's still fine. We'll just get the key at the end instead of at the start here. And, again, we're looking... Now, without a doubt, we're looking for Placenta charges. So if we could get one of those to pay out, use the Razor Blade. I mean, we're still at 8.34 damage, but could always use a little extra. For a while, at least. And we need to keep in mind, on this run, we could donate more to the donation machine, and I think, like, our donation machine carries over from greed to greedier, surely. They're not gonna... I mean, for the superstar players like myself, it's not that big of a deal to get another 500 cents on the machine, but for the average Joes out there watching these videos for you know, tips and tricks and like, please God, NL, teach me how to finally beat a run with Isaac. You know, because this game is really hard, and it takes like a special kind of intellect and practice to beat it. So, you know, I just wish they'd have mercy for the other, you know, little Hulkamaniacs out there that are trying so hard to make it happen. Shouldn't have left. That wasn't what I meant to do. Got distracted. It happens from time to time. All the little Hulkamaniacs out there. Do you self-identify as a Hulkamaniac? I would say that, you know, there may have been a time in my life, likely, you know, when I was maybe under the age of 6. If you were like, what were you? I'd be like, well, I was like a kindergarten student. Yeah, and then I'd be like, well, I'm like a son. Yeah, and then, well, like, I'm a boy. And they'd be like, yeah, and then, and I'd be like, fine, you got me. I'm a Hulkamaniac. Dude, I loved professional wrestling. I have, like, the same interests as the average 29-year-old YouTuber, except I had them when I was, like, 5. And I don't want to say I grew out of them, because I don't mean it like that. I really don't mean it like, well, now I'm into, you know, adult stuff, like whiskey and landscapes. It's not really like that. I just, like, I feel like I kind of missed the boat, right? Accidentally. So when I was a kid, I was really into, like, Ghostbusters, professional wrestling, comic books. Those are, like, my 3 things that I was really into. And I just sort of, like, lost interest in them over time. I wouldn't say aged out necessarily. And now, much to my surprise, everybody in the video gaming industry is like, we gotta watch the WWE. I mean, to be fair, I guess I did grow up in a great era for wrestling, as far as I know, at least. Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Hacksaw, Jim Duggan. Of course, you know, Hulk Hogan. You know, it's a golden age, I hope. I'm assuming. And then, like, I don't know, I started getting the 1, 2, 3 kid, and I was going, come on, man, even I can count higher than that. You know, I lost interest a little bit after that. It's like, if you don't respect yourself, how am I supposed to respect you? 9.34 damage. Starting to get up there. I don't know, I just sort of like... I had a revelation one day that my parents were like, hey, just so you know, like... They weren't being rude about it, like, they weren't trying to destroy my enjoyment of it. I guess, and this is where I'll come back around to, and again, I don't want to seem judgmental to those of you who watch wrestling. I'm not saying it's something for kids. Here's the thing. I think as a kid, it's easy to enjoy wrestling when you think it's real. And you don't really, you know, have that layer of cynicism that as an adult, or not even cynicism, just skepticism, where you go like, wait a minute, this isn't friggin' real. That dude is dressed like, he's just ridiculously dressed, you know? Nobody's walking around in like that kind of costume in their everyday life. The big boss man would be arrested for impersonating a police officer. Anyway, and then once you figure out like it's staged, it becomes harder to appreciate as a child. But as an adult, that's when you can really appreciate it. You know, the workmanship that goes into it and the incredible amount of athleticism required and the storylines and their complexity and blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. The business aspects of it, too. I supposedly. That's what I'm assuming happens, but I don't know. Like, I keep... The question that I have never really found answered is, like, how do WWE fans feel about Roman Reigns? And what I can infer is that people do not like Roman Reigns, or they feel like he has not earned his status or stature within the WWE to be given titles, because it is scripted. We definitely want that. If we're going to take this, we might as well take this as well. But I've never been able to figure out, and maybe you can illuminate this for me very simply. I've never been able to figure out, do people dislike the character of Roman Reigns, or do they dislike both the character and the actor who... Well, would actor be the word? I don't want to deliberately, like, be offensive, but, you know, the performer who plays the role of Roman Reigns, do they hate him as well? I don't know. That's right, because I have to imagine, like... I mean, if you're Roman Reigns, you probably get it more than I do. But it's probably, like, you know, still hard to be him. And then be like, everyone's like, hey, congrats on your title. By the way, you don't deserve it. And he's like, well, I didn't really choose to get it, you know? Or maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe he did choose to get it and I don't understand how it works behind the scenes. That's also very fair. Now, I would actually, as of right now, I would like to buy 2 keys. I'm being honest with you, I don't look down on, like, basically any hobby. There are a couple hobbies, and please, I shouldn't even say it, but again, I'm allergic to dead air, okay? The only hobbies I kind of look down on are, like, how am I gonna phrase this? I just hate when you ask someone, like, oh, what do you do for fun? And their first thing is, like, I listen to music, I watch movies, I watch TV, etc., etc. That's cool. Because, like, everybody does. So that's what everybody does for fun. You don't even need to answer it. It's, like, implicit. It's like saying, what'd you do today? And you're like, I woke up and I, you know, ate matter to continue my metabolic processes and I respired and blah, blah. Like, what I mean when what do you do for fun is, like, what do you do for fun that's not the stuff that everybody does in their downtime? Like, even if you only do it once a month, you know, do you take, like, a ballroom dance class or something like that? Not my cup of tea, but I'd be interested to hear from someone who's done it, you know, how they feel about it. You know, are you a party animal? Do you go out all the time? Do you travel? Do you do nature-y stuff I don't understand, like hiking? Or as I call it, hard walking? There's like exotic walks. I want to know about it. You know, that's what I want to know. Not what kind of TV shows you like. But maybe people are differing in this subject. I talk all the time in these episodes about the kind of TV I watch. So, you know, I'm not going to say that, you know, it's the kind of thing that doesn't warrant discussing. I'm just saying it's, that's the only hobby where if people are like, that's all I do. I would not look at them and be like, hey, you suck. But I would look at them and be like, hey, come on, let's explore the world together a little bit, you know? I hate the idea of skydiving, but maybe you should try it out. Maybe you'll be into it, you know? Not for me, but that's not everything's for everybody. So if you're into wrestling, dude, I'm not looking down on you at all. Crocheting, cycling. The only hobbies I actually look down on are, and we talked about this on the NLSS today, are hobbies that are useless and completely born out of having way too much time on your hands. And so much time. You ever hear the expression, idle hands are the devil's plaything? We were talking on the show, Rob brought up a lady in the United States of America, sorry, she was in Australia. Sorry, Australians, you gotta own this one. We're still innocent up here, but she started feeding her dog a strictly vegetarian diet and claimed that the dog preferred it, and then they gave the dog some meat, and it was like, thank you for this meat. But anyway, that's the kind of thing, if you're like, I'm gonna make my dog have ethics that align with my ethics, that's when you've got too much time on your hands. That's when I start to look at that as like, you know, that's a hobby I'll look down on. It's a hobby that's like destructive to yourself and also other people, particularly your dog. So, like, I would prefer personally if you let your dog eat dog food. That's what it's there for. I know, here's the thing. That is a tinted rock. When I feed my cats cat food, I smell it. And then I smell what I'm eating, and I go, oh my god, you guys are, like, eating garbage. But you put it in the bowl, here's the secret, they freaking love it. They go crazy for it. We don't have 3 cents, this is dangerous, I don't know where our HP is at. It's called cat food. It's made for cats to eat. You don't need to give them human food. If you do your research, like there's this Korean cat channel that Kate watches sometimes. We could definitely do it at least once, right? We can keep doing it until we get Horror Babylon. There we go. And I would never do this, by the way, because it's an insane amount of work for an ungrateful animal. But she made her cats cat-friendly ice cream with like a cold stone, like they would do with the creamery of the same name. I don't know what she used, because I think cats are like mildly lactose intolerant, even though the stereotype is like they love a saucer of milk. But anyway, she made some cat-friendly fruit ice cream, and they loved it, obviously. They went crazy for it. So if you're gonna go to that standard, that's fine. But don't just be like, my cat's gluten-free, and they're vegan. You know, that's not nature. I'm a human being. If I want to eat less meat, I can make that decision for myself. But I'm not going to look at my cat and be like, hey, creature that doesn't understand really what's happening. By the way, you're eating chickpeas only now. You know, it's not what you evolved on. You'd end up making your cat very sick, you know? I was gonna say, like, if somebody made a product that was just like human food and it had all of the if you ate this 3 times a day, you'd get a 2,000 calorie diet, well-rounded, and all the micro and macronutrients, vitamins and minerals you need to not only survive but, you know, grow. I would probably try it, but then I realized that I'm pretty sure that is like basically Soylent. I thought their thing was like you could have 5 bottles of it a day, and it would be 2,000 calories, and your macros would be okay. But also, you should really take like at least a vitamin if you do that. Isn't that the formula's not quite there yet. It's not quite at like space food. Plus, I don't like the taste that much. I love food. It's just like, here's the thing about food. It's like really good. I gotta check the cursed room. If you're the kind... We didn't get hit on the way out. How did that happen? If you're the kind of person who, like, eating is, like, a little bit of a chore, well, I feel bad, for one. But I guess I shouldn't, because, you know, there's the kind of people who would think, like, oh, it must be such a chore to be trapped in your body where you don't like to dance. Nah, not really. Pretty... kind of killing it over here. I'm living a pretty good year, to be honest with you. But more power to you. Go out and dance. It shouldn't bother you. If you love dancing so much, it shouldn't bother you that I'm not dancing. Plus, the other thing I really wanted to mention is that if I had the chance, I would ask the world to dance. But till then, I'm just a dancer with myself. Oh. And if I had the chance, I don't know why he's so stuffed up. I'd ask the world to dance, and then I'm dancing with you. So we're definitely going to take Monstro's Lung, because he's cool. And then we're going to check for Guppy. And we didn't get it, but we could get it right here. So, this is one where you gotta... I'm willing to go there. And I'm willing to go there, and then wait for some placenta payouts. Oh, that's painful. I just, you know... I like food a lot. It's not... It's actually one step below, like, talking about the TV shows you like, for sure. In terms of, like, obvious things. Almost everybody on planet Earth has foods they like, even if they don't, you know, necessarily love a lot of variety of foods. Everybody's got something that's like, oh, I could eat an endless amount of this. But I'm just being real with you. I just love, and I'm going to be very careful with the way I enunciate this, I love masticating. I have eaten some things that did not really taste like anything, but just the act of eating it was like deeply pleasant to me as a human being or an organic machine looking to create ATP. You know, you ever just like, there'll be like a crumb on your plate and you're like, I don't even know what kind of crumb that is. You eat it and you taste it and you go, I still don't know what kind of crumb that is. But if you think about it really deeply, there's like, you get a little rush from eating that crumb. Like my genes are telling my brain to send the message to itself. That's like, yeah, keep eating more crumbs. It gives us an extra 0.00001% chance of survival out on the savannah or something like that. I deeply love the act of consuming matter. Not just taste. It's like, I don't even know. It's like I'm addicted to digesting or something. Okay. We got one heart. This is a very good time to be careful. Oh! Incredibly thankful for the fact that we were able to almost wipe out all these enemies right off the bat. But I'm very also extremely concerned about a possible Krampus fight here. No Krampus, just HP. Alright, obviously we don't want to see this. It's garbage. Yes. 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 This is our final floor, isn't it? It is. I don't really want HP if we can get something else. Well, that was perfect comedic timing. Thank you. So I got a game plan, but I'm a little nervous that we're gonna beat the boss here, to be honest with you. Well, my game plan is fairly simple. Gonna hit you with that, a little of that, a little of that. 25 cents. I like it. Now, my game plan. We're gonna use Razor Blade once, twice. Then we're gonna sit and wait for placental charges. When I get that feeling, I need placentual healing. Placentual healing. Why do it like this? Well, it's actually extremely simple. I'm sure you figured it out already, but I'll answer it anyway. By doing things this way, I have left space. We just got an old bandage payout. I have left space for me to generate placenta heals and then use them essentially for free. So we're also, I mean, we win by breaking even on HP because the booger tiers will push things in our favor here, even if it's a little annoying to start with. Now, it's not looking great so far, but we've also spent the bulk of our time stacking up booger tiers on my mans here. We got a long way to go until he gets, you know, summarily bodied, but that hurts. I don't know. I actually would give us like a 50-50 chance right now, and it's so sad to also be on 9 lives without having Guppy. 9 lives, no Guppy is like, you know, baby shoes for sale, never worn. It's a 5-word story, and I got the words in the wrong order, but, you know, you can fill in the gaps for yourself. If I had the chance to touch the world to dance, for sale, baby shoes never worn. Yo, let's go. So again, we probably, like in my head, I was thinking we could convert that into Razor Blade DPS, but let's not and say we did because actually very, very concerned about making sure that we make it through this. It is getting increasingly likely, like we stacked up enough boogers to cause a real problem here. How does he do it? Did you see that? And we got him. 11 cents, that's not enough though. It's just enough. Oh my god. Well, it's a little bit on the shorter side today, and with the last episode as well, but it's a very convenient stopping point because we get to do Greedier next. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. That was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!